Good morning and welcome to week 10. This video is going to be a brake drum special. I'm still getting questions about brake drum forges. People say, yeah, I know you don't like them, but how would you improve them and that kind of thing. Say you're on a deserted island and the only thing that washed ashore was a brake drum. How would you use, So I said, okay, well, let me think about it. And so basically, unofficially, I've been issued a challenge of, how would I modify a brake drum to turn it into something usable without creating more work for yourself than it would take to build a proper fire pot. So this is a picture of a forge that was sent to me by John West in Utah. And he's got a brake drum forge. He saw my video about how to build a proper fire pot, and he said, okay, well, this is what I have. Is there anything I can do right now until I get around to building a proper fire pot to make this usable? So the modifications that I'm going to be presenting to you today is basically based on this setup. And if you want to have any chance at converting your brake drum forge into a usable forge, you need to at least have it set up in a table like this. You can't just have one of those brake drum forges that have 4 little metal legs welded to the bottom of the brake drum. You need to have some kind of a table or shelf built around it to be able to pile the coal that you need to build a fire. So here's what I came up with after spending a couple of hours cutting up a bunch of cardboard. I realized that you can actually insert 2 sides of a regular fire pot inside of a brake drum, and they fit in there quite nicely. In fact, this configuration is just a little bit larger than the fire pot that I'm using right now. These 2 sides can be built out of just about anything, but I would recommend using at least 1/8" plate, and you can really cut everything out with a hacksaw and a regular coal chisel if that's all you have to work with. The 2 square tabs that you see at the bottom of each plate need to be drilled out so you can bolt these plates in place, and that would make the whole unit very solid, so you could work the fire and do whatever you need to, and none of these plates are going to shift out of position. And again, it's something that's very accessible. Just about anybody with any amount of tools would be able to put this together. This is just a pretty standard brake drum, I guess. It's about 3 inches deep and just under 10 inches across on the inside. To figure out the cutout for the bottom of the sheet metal plate, I'm just using a small piece of scrap sheet metal, and I've set it into the brake drum at roughly a 45-degree angle. And then I'm just estimating the distance that the bottom corner of the sheet metal plate is sitting away from the bottom corner of the brake drum, and I'm using that distance at the top to set the angle of my straight edge. I'm going to use that measurement as a starting point, and I'll do whatever modifications I need to this scrap piece of sheet metal to get the plate sitting the way that I want. Next, I'm going to use a pair of dividers just to estimate the distance across the base of the plate. Next, you just need to transfer these measurements onto the plate that you're going to be using for the sides of the forge. The base of the sides of the forge starts about 1 inch above the bottom of the plate that you're going to be using for the sides. That gives you the material you need to cut out the tabs that are going to bolt this side to the bottom of the brake drum. And then you just start from the center line and lay everything out. The sides that I'm using here are approximately 14 inches across, so I start from a 7-inch center line and transfer all my measurements from there. The V-blocks that you see sitting on the edge of the brake drum are just to hold these sides in position because I don't have anything bolted in. I have to say that I kind of like this design, and I think it'll really overcome a lot of the problems that are just inherent with a brake drum forge. So let me know how it works out for you.